Hello friends, welcome to the Preparaion channel, and today's topic is Mindmap for mechanical design engineer job with automotive plastic domain. What is mean by Mindmap? As this 2019 is ending up, we are deciding some resolutions for the new year, and we will do that with automotive plastic domain design engineer. Mechanical design is a job. So I am giving the timeline and the topics that we need to cover within this timeline, so that we will cover the automotive plastic domain in about 3 months. It needs about 100 days to complete this domain, and to enter in a mechanical design engineer with automotive plastic domain background. So let's start. So first section is, we have to first know about the what is automotive interior and exteriors. It, First we have to start with the introduction of a car and plastic parts in car. It means which body parts of the car are made manufactured with the plastic components, and brief about the plastic parts, introduction about the plastics, what are the types of plastic like thermoset and thermoplastic, introduction about that, different materials in the plastics and its recycling codes. Recycling codes are also important as 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 to learn this plastic domain. It might be asked in some interviews also, for which plastic material which recycling code is given. In this way, this first sections is a brief introduction about car and typical assemblies that are made up with the plastics, like interiors, automotive interiors, automotive exteriors. In interiors, the uh, dashboard assembly and door panel assembly, and which are the parts, specific parts in that door panel and dashboard assembly. We have to figure out and make a list of all those parts, all those assemblies. Always we know about, if we are learning the automotive plastic, then we have to learn first about the assemblies in a plastic that a car used. So first introduction, we have to learn about the introduction about all these things, then which types of materials for which assembly generally used. All these things we have to study within the 3 days of a timeline. After that, we go to the section 2. After knowing about the plastic, type, two types of plastic like thermoplastic and thermosetting, then we have to give the typical overview about plastic materials and automobile application wise use of that material, with for that typical parts. And then we have to learn about properties and applications of materials like PP, PE, PC, ABS, nylon, acrylic, TPI, TPO, elastomers, PET, PVC. All these are the materials that are used in automotive plastics. We have to know about its properties, and when these materials, and for which application of the material that these materials are used. All these typical things that we have to know. And after that, different additives is in the materials to strengthen the material. In some cases, like glass fiber, mica, plasticizers, some binders, etc. like glass fiber is used for strength addition, plastic manufacture. All these things we have to go in a detail for that. After that, we have to know about plastic manufacturing processes in like injection, what is meant by injection molding, compression molding, blow molding, and different types of molding processes we have to study all these things. So this second section comes with materials used in plastic domain. After that, its nomenclature, its properties, and application wise use of that material. After that, which are the additives used in plastic materials, and for which application which additives is used. After that, plastic manufacturing processes such as injection molding, compression molding, and blow molding. All these things we have to study for 6 days, and we have to make detailed notes about that. It's basically a self-paced exercise. We have to study from Google, from YouTube, and some books, very good books, mechanical engineering or plastic, automotive plastic books. We have to study all these basic things. After this, we go to the section 3. Now we know what are the car assemblies in plastic material. After that, we know about the which types of plastic, then materials, different materials used in the plastic, and which are the additives used for uh, typical application of a plastic. After that, we know about the manufacturing processes, that like injection molding, blow molding. We know about that. So in section 3, what we learn, the defects, manufacturing defects occurred during the manufacturing of those parts. We have to study those defects in order to design a perfect or good product. Those defects such as sink mark, what is meant by sink mark, warpage, short material, flash, weld line, etc. Then we have to study how to overcome to these plastic defects. And after ending of this, some of the basic theoretical part, we have to enter into the CATIA basic modeling, like what is point, how it is defined in a CATIA, tree management, and point plane. After that, what is meant by Boolean modeling, what are the benefits of doing Boolean modeling, why industry is preferring to go with the Boolean modeling. And then we have to study the how to keep more horizontal tree, how to create quick updation model with any changes, and CAD assignments, and related to that, all the basic 3D CAD assignments with Boolean operations. We have to learn these things within 8 days. This is all about section 3. First section, we learnt about what is car, its assemblies, its parts name, and second section we learnt about different types of plastic materials, different types of plastic manufacturing processes, and which are the additives added for different application. In third section, we learnt about we have to learn about which are the plastic defects, like sink mark, warpage, short material, flash, weld line, etc., and how to overcome to these plastic defects. With that, we have to also practice CATIA modeling with line, point, plane, and Boolean modeling, and how to keep the horizontal tree for a best practice, and how to create a quick updation model without any changes in the CAD assignments. These 3 things we have to start first. Basically, they in these three sections, we are working on theoretical part parallelly, some of in CAD part. In this way, we have to start the automotive plastic design study. And this section mostly we have to give the 8 days for 1 or 2 days for plastic defects study, and other so 4, 5, 6 days for boolean modeling and 3D CAD modeling. So this sections ends over here. After that we go to the section 4. What we have built in last 6 days in this about this boolean modeling, 3D modeling. Every member from you have to make a team for 4 to 5 members or 3 members, or if not possible you will do it individually also, and discuss with some mentor or a instructor that what are the problems we are facing, which types of tree we are maintaining, what are the changes that we have to make in order to make better uh, tree uh, tree management for our CAD model, all those things. And after getting the problems, how to overcome those problems, all these things we have to discuss it for 3 to 4 days with our instructor, who is the mentor or instructor for you. Then along with that he will teach you what is mean like car zero or car axis line, and how as standardized, it's a standard global sim representation. Then brief about what what are the different areas in the car car assembly, like greenhouse area, track width, what is the wheelbase, which is the wheelbase area, what are the typical standards for which types of cars, such as SUV, for sedans, for compact sedans. There are some basic normal standards or rules that each and every company is setting. We have to just go through it once, so that we our mindset comes in those typical automotive car design domain. And this sections completely covers about 4 days. After that we have to enter in a CAD model review for any improvements needed. Now we are good with the boolean. We have worked about and 15 to 16 days on basic theories, some of the basic introduction about the automotive domain, and some of the basic modeling techniques in a CATIA for 3D models. Now it's part of a review what you have done with the CAD boolean modeling, and along with that to study the assembly, how the assembly is done, and how the assembly parts are designed, or how the assembly structure or T map is going to make from the instructor. Then work on some assemblies and try to make the assemblies, and how to make assembly, in which direction which part is suiting. All those things you have to learn in the CAD domain. After that you have to study parallelly about what why what is meant by graining on a plastic part, introduction about that, and when the people on which types of parts graining is preferred, graining is done with which materials, or what is the grain limit, grain types, grain height, draft, maximum draft, what is given for the graining. After that, what is meant by 2K molding, some of the images of 2K molding is all those things you have to learn in this section parallelly for a theoretical part. So this part consists of mainly assembly, study the assembly how in a CAD model or 3D model, and review of all the Boolean models, and some theoretical parts such as graining part, the typical details of graining and how the 2K molding process is done. And 2K molding is nothing but a combination of two materials in a single part for its functionality. Some like buttons. Buttons consist of two different materials of parts that are combined to make a better functionality and better feel for a user or consumer. So this part is a self-paced, plus you need some mentor for assembly and some theoretical knowledge also, because 2K molding is somewhat a advanced concept nowadays, and this part I think you need for 4 days for this section. So next part is at each and every next section. Now you have to review what you have done with the CAD modeling or a CAD part, and this section consists of some of the information of a live hinge, what is meant by live hinge, how it is, how and when it is designed, more, and live hinge is manufactured with which materials, and all all the material properties for live hinge parts. All these things you have to study. Along with that, the very important concept that you have to study is RPS. RPS system, that is reference point system, that every designer must design that each and every part with something standard that you have to set. And then what is meant by 3 to 1 ratio, and how to restrict the parts degrees of freedom in all these things you have to study in this section. Then what is meant by primary and secondary degrees of freedom, all these things you have to study. After that, introduction to plastic domain. Now the exact engineering behind automotive plastic, that starts with this section, that is mean by what is style. Every mechanical product design engineer in a automotive plastic domain is working with some styling surface, that is A class surface, and we have to work on that A class surface to make it solid or thick with the class B surface, and close all these surfaces with a surface called as a C class surface. These three surfaces make a closed body for that part. Then we have to go for its features, like for assembly. Then analyze, first thing is what is style surface. Analyze the style surface with draft analysis. Make a closed body, which are the errors that are happening while making a closed body. Report, make a bomb with assembly and part, defining their material and thickness, etc. as per its functions. For example, structural parts and cost. Cost the make and cost. make a design and its function and cost. Make a design and study of craft. What is meant by craftsmanship section, what and multi-section for assembly. Also make a design study for part as a conceptual design. This is all brief about plastic domain, and this section takes about 4 days. And now the total number of days for this is about 28 days. It's about 1 month. We are at the beginning of automotive plastic domain. This is the part 1 video for mind map of automotive plastic design engineer preparations. So in the next video we will see about the from section 7 to the last section. Thank you. Hope you are liking my videos. Please do subscribe to my channel. Thank you very much.